Yes, I see that.
It's on.
Huh?
It's on.
Yeah, oh. It's on. Hi, move your purse. So I can plunk my body down.
The Filipino-American experience begins on October 18, 1587, when a landing party from... The Filipino-American experience begins on October 18, 1587, when a landing party from the Manila Galleon sends ashore and 8 Luzones Indios, meaning Filipinos.
Wagons were tilted up on one end. That was used as an area to drop the rope and lynch the person.
The court ruled that American-born children of Chinese immigrants were entitled to citizenship under the 14th Amendment.
I must confess I don't quite know the standard of respectability that you demand in your boarding house.
In his brief, Ozawa argued that his skin was as white as any so-called Caucasian, if not whiter.
The President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, ordered all Japanese Americans on the west coast of America to be summarily rounded up, with no charges, with no trial, with no due process.
I got such children, I leaned up against them, I said, Papa, someday I'm going to be an Olympic champ.
Republican Hiram Fong of Chinese descent becomes one of Hawaii's 2 United States senators.
I said, empty your mind, be formless, shapeless.
Good luck in Chicago, shorty.
must recognize that the internment of Japanese Americans was just that, a mistake. The legislation that I am about to sign provides for a restitution payment to each of the 60,000 survivors.
Michael Chang shocked the world when he won the French Open at age 17.
Surprised me was the complete shutout of the Joy Luck Club, which when it was released last September was considered a shoo-in for a Best Picture.
So you'll
wish you all the best of luck in Beijing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
America doesn't handle Asian American identity with the care and concern and I think fear that they handle other identities of color in America. So writers think it's okay to have a headline on ESPN saying chink in the armor or 2 inches of pain or constantly saying, oh, he's deceptively quick. We didn't expect this because they underestimate us all the time. But when you speed things up to 2016 and you see the way America fears Muslims, the way America fears the black community, and the way that America goes into these communities and literally hunts individuals down. As a Taiwanese Chinese American, you say to yourself, maybe it's better we aren't feared.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I show you that because it is Asian American, Asian and Pacific Island American Month. So with that, I thought I would read this land and labor acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge that we gather virtually and in person today on traditional lands all throughout this nation. We honor the first people of those lands, past and present, with gratitude, also for the land itself and the people who have been its faithful and loving stewards throughout generations untold. Their example calls us to commit to learning how to be better guardians, both individually and in community, of the lands we inhabit, the air we breathe, and the water that sustains us. We also recognize and acknowledge the stolen and enforced labor through which our country was built. We remember that this nation was made great upon the labor of people who were kidnapped, brought to foreign and unfriendly land from their African homes, enslaved, their wisdom and strength exploited and stolen. We also identify all immigrant labor, including voluntary, involuntary, trafficked, and undocumented peoples who have always and continue to contribute to the building of our workforce. And so with that, let's just take a moment and just take a deep breath. And we just acknowledge all the great people that have done so much to bring about the country that we live in today. And although the mistakes have been made, we know that we move forward, knowing that now that we know better, we do better. And so we just are grateful. For diversity and the inclusion of that diversity is what truly makes America great. And together let's say, and so it is.
Thank you, Brenda. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, dear.
Here and at home. How's everybody feeling? You feel like singing along?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's beautiful. Amuse me. Excuse me.
Show
more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, and leading us, yes, to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Oh yes, command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. 'Cause God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator. He makes all things new. And God leads us, yes, to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God, yes. I hold you in my heart always. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are my family. You are the face of God. Yes.
I invite you to just gently close or lower your eyes as I offer my prayer this morning. And I'll be speaking in the first person, so let my words become your words. There is only one almighty power, one creative source, one infinite intelligence that is pure love and light and wisdom and all that there is. And I know that I am one with this presence. I am light and love and joy and peace. God created me. I did not create God. God does not need to forgive, for God does not see anything to forgive, because God is all light and love. However, because God created me and I do see things that I don't necessarily want to see or feel, my calling is to be the light of the world, and to accept forgiveness as my job. I must forgive all, not just some, but all that I see that is not in accordance with the truth and the light and the love. That is all there is. That is my job, and I must do it on a daily basis for myself, for me, as a holy creation of our Creator God. I use this information and I spread it wherever I can go. Forgiveness truly is the key. And I am so grateful to have the information that I get from this beautiful Center for Spiritual Living that affords all of us the opportunity to grow and love and be the very best that we can be. Through our classes, through our just being with one another, as we know that we are all one here. There is nothing but the one of us here. And I am just so grateful for everything that transpires here, and today to have the message from Reverend Wanda to touch everyone that hears with such wisdom and humor and love, so beautifully. And the music that Patty and Dave provide every single Sunday is just, it just fills my heart more than I can even speak about. I love it so much. And I am so grateful for Yvonne and Charlie to help us spread this word beyond these walls. And for Caden and Russell, who always are here to help us with everything we need for our sound and our vision. There are so many volunteers here that I couldn't begin to name all of us. But I know that each and every one of us is a divine appointment right here to do exactly what they know they need to do. And I am just so grateful for all that goes on, the ministers, everything, the ministry of prayer. I mean, what would I do without my ministry of prayer? It is everything to me. I know that I am just so grateful that it's beginning to overwhelm me with emotion, and that's okay. It's really okay. And so I now can release my word to the creative workings of the universal law that takes care of all of my hows, does it all for me and my highest good. I can release it all, and we can surely stay together. And so it is.
Oh, thank you, Kitty. You deliver such a heart and soul-filled message. Your prayer. Thank you so much, Kitty. Where would we be without the ministry? There was a time in my life I thought I had to do this all by myself. Well, I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Yes, yes. But now I can see that if you are worried and you're struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let go, let it all go. Let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I only for, you got a microphone, singer, for God. Yes, I'm here for God and reverence you. Yeah. You got a mic, but it don't work. It don't work.
Good thing, because I'm not singing.
That's right.
All right. Patty Powers and Dave. While you're standing, if it's comfortable for you, please say with me, God bless America and the rest of the world. And let's just give yourselves a hug right now. Yes. I know some of us are hugging, but we're not hugging on camera, and that's okay. But ask permission. That's all I ask. How are you all this morning? You all look great. You can all sit down.
We're good. Thank you.
I mean, you guys look so good. You're so cute. You're so beautiful. And even, I can't see you all, but I know you can see me, so I'm sure you're appropriately dressed. Or not. I have no judgment, nor can I see you, remember? So, thank you all for being here. Wow. What is this, Stacey? Asian American Pacific Islander Month? I know. I wanted to just tell them you really knew what it was. But anyway, I'm Reverend Cheryl Bell, co-senior minister here along with my sister Stacey Hilton and my reflection. Obviously, she came downstairs wearing my outfit. And we didn't have time to change, so we're both here in our stripes. Anyways, thank you all for being here. I always like to tell people that no matter where they are on their spiritual path, they'll always be welcome here. And that is, we strive, Reverend Stacey and myself, strive to make that the truth every single day, that anyone that comes here feels safe. So I'm so glad that you all decided to come. If you're here for the first time, please sign our guest book. It's nice to see the Kovacs family here visiting, and haven't seen them in a while. So good to see everyone. Even though I don't call you out, I love you all.
That's right.
Enjoy.
Oh, how beautiful. What a beautiful morning, right?
Yes.
Yes. It's all right about the music stand. It's all right. Everything's good. It's all right that the fan is blowing everything around. That's fine. This too shall pass. I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe for somewhere the darkest night, a candle glows.
morning.
Good morning.
The question is, do you believe?
Yes. Yes.
Are you convinced, Rebs, that they believe? Sound a little bit. Sound a little bit.
Just a little iffy.
A little bit iffy. Okay, so this month we're focusing on that which is holy, as in whole, as in inclusive of all, and holy, as in that which is sacred or reverent. And then it says uprising. Holy, holy, uprising. What do you think that means? That's what we're going to explore. This week, the topic is, this too is God. And if you look to the person to your left or your right, this too is God. This too is God. So do we really believe in God? Yes or no?
Yes.
See, we got to let's see if we can do a little bit better toward the end. So God, this concept of God, is known by many different names. Atman, Brahman, Allah, the Christ, the Buddha nature, the Creator, the Source, the Great One, Jehovah, Elohim, Yahweh, the Father, the Source, the Spirit, the Presence, the I Am Presence. So we have a lot of names for it, but I'm not sure that we've reached our full potential in embracing this concept. And we come on Sunday to remember who we are, what we are, and why we're here. Now there is a mystic, one of many, and it was a German mystic and theologian that said, apprehend God. Perceive, comprehend, that's what that means, to understand. Because that wouldn't be the way I would say it, apprehend. Because what are you thinking? Arrest God? Lock him up? Because God, the mystic is saying, and this mystic's not the only one, they all teach the same thing. Isn't that interesting? The different cultures, different languages, and they're all saying the same thing. It must be true. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes. That's how I got to be sold on it. God's a God of all people. All people. So God is everywhere, in every single creation. It's full of God. Now, is that what we say when we look at a beautiful snow-capped mountain? Because we go, there's God. Or how about look at the forest, nature. Oh, there's God. And now there's a forest fire. Is there still God, or did God leave? See, it's those kind of things that make us question this faith, make us question what it is that we really believe. God, every creation is the Word of God. That is what the mystics have taught. And Ernest Holmes had so many things that he believed. And he told people what he believed. That's why we went to a seminar, to listen to him, to hear what he had to say. And he said that he believes. Well, he believed, and then other people say, well, listen, I want what he has. So instead of the poem that he wrote that said what I believe, we changed it to what we believe. And among these things, we believe in God. One indestructible, absolute, nothing outside existence our cause. God is all in all. All right. So we ask ourselves this morning, what do you believe? What do you believe? And how do you know? Well, is it by what you say or is it by what you do? Something to think about, right? And you hear, I feel, sayings, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. Has anybody ever said that? Yes. And was it true for you? Yes. Yes. And the reason is because you're creating it. Through what? Clay, construction, our thoughts, our thinking makes it so. Thinking that we consciously do and subconsciously too. And a lot of times we forget about that. And it's not hard to see. It really isn't, because you look at your life and that's what you believe. Easy, right? Right. It really is. And sometimes we may or may not like everything we see, at least in my case. However, there's the God in that gives me an opportunity to look at that and make a change if I choose to. So who's God and what is God? Now, is your concept, is this a benevolent being of light and love and joy? Is that your view? Or is this a punishing God? No. If the devil don't get you, God will. Is that your thought? Some people are having that talk this morning, not here. But I've heard.
Yeah.
God is to you what you are to God. Think about it. So you can say the devil made me do it, but then who's the devil? You see where I'm going with this? So is God an order taker? No. A wish maker? No. Are we talking about an impersonal law that is the same yesterday, today, and will be tomorrow, and it responds to us at the level of our belief and acceptance? Belief is huge. Now, in the teachings of Jesus, he told us, didn't he? It's done unto you as what? As you believe. That's what he taught. And yet, he worked very few miracles in his own hometown. Why? He's a carpenter's son. Who's going to listen to him? He's not the Messiah. I know his parents. I know what his daddy did last week. He's not the Messiah, the Savior. Are you kidding me? There's a story of the centurion servant. And this was a military man, a Roman. Was Jesus a Roman? No, Jesus is Jewish. So here this military man travels far to come to Jesus. Physically, not metaphysically. And he asked Jesus to heal my servant. So this idea that Jesus could initiate a healing and the patient, the servant, wasn't even in front of him, was new then. We do that in the ministry of prayer every day. We don't need to see you to know you. Because the truth is the same. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, everywhere. But this was new, and this was awesome for Jesus because it had never happened before. The people in his own hometown were sort of iffy on him. And yet this Roman came, and he said, I am a man of authority. And when I say take the hill, they take the hill. When I say stand up and salute, they stand up and salute. When I say sit down and be still, it is done.
So the woman is saying, I believe. I believe. And so Jesus was probably thinking, well, I hope I do. Let's go with this. Because this was his first time. And as the story goes, Jesus spoke the word, and in that instant, the healing had occurred. And Jesus said, wow, this is awesome. I've not seen such faith among my own people in my own hometown. So let's ask ourselves, how great is our faith? How great is our faith? And are we praying only at times where we think we're in trouble? That'd be a good thing to do. But not only. Adventure in faith. Recognizing, a few weeks ago we talked about blessed and blessings. So we keep before us these moments, this truth, this faith, regardless of how things look. We want to use the topic of today and say, this too is God. This too is God. It might not look like that sometimes. At least to me. I go, this couldn't be God. And maybe because the faith sometimes gets shaky, and maybe I'm not believing because it doesn't look the way I had in mind, like I'm God. A godling, yes. Part of the whole, yes. But not an exclusive thing itself. That's the difference. So, I worked at the Air Force Base as a civilian contractor for about 4 years. I was a registered nurse case manager. And one of the things that we do, we're certified to do, is actually help the patients solve problems. Help them solve problems and get connected to their resources, medical health, mental health, physical health, resources that they're entitled to. Now, how many of you just say, hey, I want to read something really interesting, I'm going to read my health plan coverage? See? Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen unless something is happening when you need to use that. So with that in mind, there are people to help you through that are certified in those things. And so with the military people who've done so much, there wasn't a question about things that were covered. They just didn't know about it. And so that's where I came in. And so one of the jobs that I worked for United Healthcare. And I got to be a community case manager. That means that I could go to the homes and see, I worked from my home, computer, documentation, all that, but I went to their home. And it was really interesting what you see when you actually go meet somebody where they live. Specifically, when my patient is a child. Because many times, I wouldn't meet my patient. I hear about it through the mother. And you know that saying, you have to put a sweater on because your mother's cold? I'm just saying, it happens. But when you go and meet your patient, even if your patient is 5 years old, you can learn a lot of things that are earned benefits. People pay for those benefits, blood, sweat, and tears for the country. And so when they need it, it was my pleasure to find those resources, to fight for them, if fights were necessary, to get things approved as an advocate. And so one of the visits that I had, oh, and by the way, I was really successful at that. And I won a big award, Service Hero. And I mean, it's such a big medallion. I was going to bring it and show you. I don't know where I put it, but I'm sure I didn't throw it away. But it involved a trip and a whole lot of other things. So that said, my expectation would be that I would help him solve problems like I did so many other times before, right? Think I thought that?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. So I went, and both people the couple were my patients. And the man was military, and he was still working a job, and he had a knee replacement. Anybody ever have a knee replacement? It really hurts. It would, they say could make a grown man cry. It really hurts. Because if you think about it, we're putting weight on our knees when we're standing, etc. But his wife was really the person that was what she would call the sick person. Because she had cirrhosis of the liver.
Oh dear.
And she got that from having hepatitis C. This is a while back now. They have different treatments and technologies. Just so you know, there's always people working. Always scientists and doctors working and researching and trying to find better ways and cure disease and blah, blah, blah. And half these things, most of these things don't even get on television. That's not why they do it. But nevertheless, cirrhosis of the liver, and she needed a transplant. Well, here in Las Vegas, really, we didn't have that level of medical service. And so that meant I was going to have to get her authorized to travel, basically to California. Sometimes we went to Utah, depending on the specialist. And specifically for children's pediatrics, it was really hard to get all that expertise right here in Las Vegas. And she also was having problems with her kidneys. But and there was no cure for these things at the time that she could really reasonably access. So I would send them to California, to Balboa, to the Navy Medical Center, and use a specialist there. Get it authorized, get them there. And so that was the case. And I met with both of them, and sometimes together and sometimes separately. And it was really something because she said, you know what? I'm so tired of my hubby. I'm so tired of him drinking and doing all these things and all this behavior. I really don't think I can go forward. Now, he wasn't there at this time we were having this conversation. Just she and I were. And so she says, I'm even thinking of maybe I'm going to have to divorce him after being married to him 1,000 years. It was a really long time. And we're going to sell this house. He's now retired. We're going to buy a mobile home. It has a jacuzzi inside, and we're going to travel from different states and see what we want to see, and we're both going. So I said, okay, good luck. I got you set up with some referrals when you get to California, and farewell. 6 years later, I get a text. And I get this text from her. However, the picture didn't look like her. And you know how sometimes I've heard there might be some scammers on the Facebook or internet. So I'm going, fraud, to myself. Fraud. And this person kept sending me a message. And I wondered why. Why would they keep sending me a message? So I finally said the truth. The truth always sets you free, really, whether you like it, what it looks like or not, and the fact. And I said, you know what? I said, I don't recognize your picture. I said, I knew a very lovely lady by this name, but you look nothing like her. So basically stopped, texting me, basically. We had no business together. Okay. So that was sort of what I was thinking. And she explained, I used to weigh 380 pounds.
Oh my God.
Now that's up from when I knew her, just so you know. This trip around everything, I guess, put on a few pounds. And she said, but then I lost weight. And she said, and I've had a liver and kidney transplant.
Wow.
And the hubby that she thought she'd been married to forever was going to have to divorce, he made his transition. And basically I said, wow, wow. And she says, here's a picture of me now. I weigh 145 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
See what I didn't look anything like her. And I thought, well, wow, that is really something. That is really something. And I remember one thing about her. Well, many things about her, because you get to know them pretty well when you go to their homes and visit them, etc. And she said she was always a positive thinker. Positive thinker. And she always said, be kind, be fair, be honest, be true, and all these things will return to you. So it didn't matter if the drunken husband was abusing her. I'm going to be kind, I'm going to be true, and all these things, that which I am, will be returning to me. And actually, they did. And she showed me a picture of the urn. Well, we're on, Facebook, text. I didn't go physically look at the urn, but the point is. And the miracle that she, overweight at the time, would finally find a specialist. I mean, I had gotten her a specialist that came down from Utah once a week or something to visit, but that didn't work, and you certainly can't do surgery with somebody like that. And so to be able to have transplants, that means someone had to will their remains so that another might have life, might have wholeness, and might have healing. And with all of that, positivity and strength, and she said to me, I hope the parents don't know that some old lady got his kidneys. Maybe they won't think I'm worth it. Can you imagine? That was her. And so what I want to say is, our belief matters. Our faith makes the difference. In some way, that made the difference with this woman's transplants, plural. That's amazing that she would get 2 transplants, that even she would get 1. But more amazing to me was her faith, her kindness, her love, and what she was giving out, and it was returned to her. So I think that's a lesson of many that we can take from that. We can take from that. Because the appearance of things sometimes doesn't really look good. And it's not up to the case manager with the great service medallion. You go straight to the source, which is God. And you never give up on God, because God never gives up on you. There are no incurable diseases, but there are diseases that we may not have found a cure for yet. And so I would say, take this example. Do the prayer work. Do everything that you can do, and then don't lean on your own understanding. Trust God. Trust God. And we'll find, as she did. Now, she knew it. The one who got the aha moment was me. See? She knew it. And all the circumstances had to be in alignment. They had to sell the house. They needed to have that mobile home. She needed to get away to reliably be in California. Transitions had to happen to make these organs available. And the odds that there were matched on both of them, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But and science, I love science. It's wonderful. But it's nothing. It's nothing compared to one person with a divine idea whose time has come. So I really encourage us all, as if we're going through different things, keep the faith. Practice the practicing. Because there is an answer and there is a way. And God meant it for good. This too, the alcoholic, the losing the home, I already said what was going on. This too is God. And so if we take nothing away from the message this morning, just remember, this too is God and I am part of it. And God is operating through me, leading me to the right people at the right time for God's purpose. And you can trust it. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Amazing.
You were wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Well, yes, you are amazing. Somehow you always make me laugh. With some deep lessons, right? We have laughter and lessons. Thank you, Reverend. Reverend Wanda helped me choose some songs today, and I truly appreciate it. We must remember this. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of love. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed in pain. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark, 'cause at the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with the hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on, keep walking on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You will never
Thank you, Patty. Oh, beautiful. My pleasure. Beautiful. That's a good song. I haven't heard that in a long time. Right, me too. This is our, what we call our time for giving and receiving. And it's a blessing, for sure. We're not passing around a basket. There is a basket in the back with envelopes. There is also on the screen, there is a way to give a gift through tithing. And so many ways to give a gift. So many ways. Our volunteers know that too, so thank you so much. If you know our affirmation, please say it with us. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And what I know for sure is that life works in circles. What I know for sure is that it's all God. It's all God. No matter what we call it, it is all God. We can call it abundance. We can call it opulence. We can call it money. We can call it prosperity. It's all God. And I am grateful for it all. I'm grateful for each and every person that allows myself and Reverend Stacy to serve you in so many ways. It is a privilege, a pleasure, and the best thing ever. And I simply want to thank you all. And let's say together, and so it is. So it is.
So grateful. I do believe that I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Yeah. I do believe that I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Yeah, and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest
well, we've got, of course, our Coffee with the Revs every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Hop on Zoom and join with the rest of us and just have a fun conversation. Healing Words Book Club is reading The Education of Little Tree by Forrest Carter, and they will be meeting the last Wednesday of this month at 4 p.m. And if you're interested in doing this with us, please just contact Reverend Stacy to let her know that you're interested. And if you would like prayer today, right after the service today, Reverend Juanita, see how I am? Reverend Juanita, she's ready. She's going to be a reverend one of these days. I declare it to be so. She is ready and waiting. Our precious practitioner is ready and waiting for you on Zoom, or you can call her at 917-916-9915. And of course, there's no charge for this, but we always accept love donations. And speaking of love donations, you just send your gift to the center, LVCSL, and you can text it to 725-502-2505 and just follow the prompts. We have a new thing going on where you can ask a practitioner a question. So you just need to send your questions to www.askapractitioner@lasvegascsl.org or askalvcslpractitioner@gmail.com. Okay, I think I said it.
There's underscore.
It's what?
It's
Underscore.
not www.
Oh, it says www here. Okay, maybe it isn't. Well, anyway, let the center know if you've got a question, because we're going to answer them every time we send out a bulletin now. Every time you get an e-bulletin, there's going to be a question and an answer. And if you read the last one, I mean, it was powerful. Practitioner Christina answered the question, and boy, oh boy. So pay attention to that. It's real important. And for prayer support, just send your prayer to prayer@lasvegascsl.org or text 702-524-7096. Our annual tamale fundraiser is today. So if you ordered tamales, please pick them up after service. And guess what, guys? If you didn't know about it or forgot, you can still pick them up today. You can buy them today. $2.50 for each one. We've got cheese and we have chicken, 2 different types. So, you can go ahead and get them if you forgot. So, that's a happy thought. I ordered 4 dozen and I can't wait to pick them up. We're going to have a party.
That's awesome.
Okay. Volunteers. We need volunteers, guys. So if you're interested in volunteering, just check the happenings table. It's working now. We've got happenings there. So happen at the table there. It's happening. And we have our precious Taya who's got something. Speaking of volunteers, she'd like to come up and to announce something for us. Yay! In the meantime, as she makes her way up here, follow us on Facebook, Instagram.
She wants a little music.
Be sure to subscribe to YouTube channel.
Taking the long way
that too.
to the stage.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi. Hi. So a couple years back, me and my family, we started like a homeless package thing where we would ask you guys for donations and create little packages for you to keep in your car whenever you see someone homeless on the side. And we decided to kind of start that up again. And back on like a little table as you're walking out, there's a huge table full of little care packages, and you just keep them in your car, and you get like a cooler so they can cool. And whenever you see someone on the street who might need it, you give it to them. And it's, in my opinion, much better than giving money or something like that, because you know what they're getting. And we have water, we have hair ties, combs, wipies, and like different essentials like that, and they're all back there if you want to get them. And we 100% accept like any cash donations, or if you just have any items you want to bring in, and we can put them in there, and we'll see if we can do it for the summer and keep going on with it. See you.
That is awesome. Helping out. I love it.
She's our major volunteer. We need more volunteers like her.
Yes.
Okay. So remember to look for the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living on Amazon Smile anytime you order anything, because we do get a percentage. And our bookstore is also open today, so if you want to look at some beautiful jewelry and gifts and books. It's open and ready to go. So let's go get tamales, guys. I'm ready.
Thank you, Kitty. I forgot to order them, and I saw them back there, and I said, oh, shoot. Tried not to make eye contact with them, but I couldn't. But now I know that there are some. Woo, I'm so excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, there are some extra to be purchased tamales. And can I tell you about the tamales?
Yeah.
Carmen and Claudia Luna, Carmen Rogers, one of our practitioners, they spend probably 2 days making these things for us every year. Last year was in August, and we even did deliveries because of COVID, but no deliveries this time. You know, Claudia is kind of, we had a tea party one time where we actually helped her, and oh my goodness, we haven't done it since, but because it's a lot of work. and she's kind of a taskmaster. Her masa, she drives to California to get it because she feels that it's the best for her tamales.
They're so good.
I can't even tell you how much love and preparation goes into these, so they're awesome. I noticed that people that ordered last year ordered more than they did last year because they didn't order enough. But anyway, it's a good thing. And I would like to ask the Ministry of Prayer team to please come forward. Any visiting ministers or practitioners, you're invited to also come to the front of the room. And I want you to see the folks that hold this place and myself up. And I know that we have our wonderful Juanita, who's on Zoom, that can pray with anybody online if you contact her that way. But these folks here will be happy to pray with and for you. We also had our, we put back out the God's Pocket where you can put a prayer request in. There's some sanitized pens and everything over there, right, Clem? He likes to sanitize the pens. I love that. Anyway, thank you so much for your order in advance. And I'm sure that Kathy or someone's in there, hopefully, to help you pick up your order. So I would like to also ask Reverend Wanda if she would please do a closing prayer. Do you have a mic? Yes.
So, if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes and perhaps open your heart even wider and your mind even more. As we turn within, I'm recognizing the absolute power and authority that is God, that is in this very room and in this very word. The word I speak is a unification of that which is already whole, perfect, and complete, that which is already one, that which is always true, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And so from this place of unity comes a deep love and a deep realization of my real life, my true life, my higher life that is one with each and every person here, those to come, and people everywhere, because there's only one. There's one life, there's one love, there's one power, there's one presence, there's one activity that is always happening in, through, and around all things. And I am remembering and understanding that this too is God. Regardless of the situation and circumstance, they come and they go. They come to pass. God alone, Spirit alone, is here to stay. And so from this place, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the divine idea in the mind of God called the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. I am so happy about the wonders of the ministry of prayer and all those who call, who write, who ask for prayer, coming into unity and deep realization that each individual is more than their favorite problem. Yes. So I let that go. I let it all go and accept the truth that all things are possible and that which the heart desires is happening right here and right now. And so I release this word now into the law of mind and action, knowing that the word has been spoken, the gift has been received. I am grateful, and I release this word into the right activity of the law, knowing that it is done now and it is done well, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is.
Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
I know this in my mind.
I know this in my mind.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my body.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Who's gonna dance with me?
I've got this feeling inside my bones. Goes electric, baby, when I turn it on. All through my city,
I'll pick up my 4 dozen.
flying high,
I'll leave my purse here.
I'm so good. Sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet, got that hot love in my body. When it drops, woo! I can't take my eyes off it. It's so phenomenally. My life goes in, so don't stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When you move where you already know. Just imagine, just imagine. And I can see what you do. Dance, feel good, creeping up on you. Dance, dance, dance. All those things that you do. Dance, dance, dance. Ain't nobody leaving to keep dancing. Woo! Just dance, dance, dance. Yeah! Just dance, dance, dance. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. All through my city, I lose control. Flying high, no ceiling when I'm zone. Got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet, got that hot blood in my body when it drops. Can't take my eye love off it, moving so phenomenally. My life goes beating rocket, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When you move where you already know. So just imagine, just imagine. I can see what you do. People creeping up on you. Dance, dance, dance. All those things you should do. Dance, dance, dance. Ain't nobody leaving to see you next week.
We have come into a time where change is inevitable. And as the world we live in changes around us, there is a place that nurtures you with compassion, love, and brings out your inner strength. At the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living, we work to create a world that works for everyone. By sharing both personal and spiritual tools, we can help you navigate through and create a life you love. If mindfulness, prosperity, abundance, and peace are on your list of what you're looking for, come join us and be part of something wonderful. Wherever you are in your spiritual path, you are always welcome here. Join us in person or as live stream on Facebook each Sunday. For more information, visit us at www.lasvegascsl.org.